of Aster's lineup currently. Neither one of them has really taken a turn into doing any kind of ultra late game stuff, though this Keen Gaming lineup could be setting up for some kind of 4 Protect 1. We saw their drafts yesterday versus Aster. They really enjoyed trying to get this 4 Protect 1 concept to work. Like they picked the Spectre in the very first game that they lost. They picked the Anti-Mage in the third game, which they lost. Medusa has been somewhat popular as an overall trend. People have been starting to bring that hero back a little bit more. So to me, this draft could be looking at something along those lines, wanting to play this sort of 4 Protect 1 style. I don't know if like Luna is still a big thing. I really don't think so, but Luna Shadow Demon, from harkening back to quite a while ago in Dota, that used to be one of those go-to support plus carry combinations. Just have your big hyper carry kind of winning you the game. Not sure if it's so possible now, but could be something to keep in mind. I think maybe the Medusa is the most likely thing, and I would think that is also why we see the OD coming in here. And the OD is just amazing pick against Kunkka, amazing pick against the Timbersaw. I really do wonder what Keen have in mind to deal with this, because they've got 2 very tanky strength heroes and not a lot of lockdown, so it does really seem like this OD is going to be able to build up a lot of stacks, and overall really looks like a good OD game. He's got the Earth Spirit to rotate for him as well, so any imprisonment could lead into an Earth Spirit roll in and a kickback, and you could just potentially die. Yeah, this is a really nasty OD pick. I don't know what Keen do now. They pretty much have to pick a safe laner. I don't think they want to run side lane Kunkka. They don't want to run the Timbersaw mid. Definitely not. So I don't know. Obvious counters are like, oh, just pick Pugna. Pick Pugna against OD. That's the answer. Not sure if that is necessarily going to fit their lineup or work in this scenario, as we get Slark banned out. So Keen very much, I think, coming to the realization that, oh wait, we've just picked a bunch of really tanky heroes so far, and they're just going to pick stuff that exploits that. And maybe also realizing they do somewhat lack lockdown. Like, they have a little bit of a combo. They can like X-torrent somebody with a cold feed, or cold feed and disruption, something like that, but that's not going to be enough for a really, really elusive hero. So, and now Naga is the ban from Aster. Okay, so they're worried about some illusion hero synergizing with the Shadow Demon, and they probably just think that the Naga is the best candidate. It would have been, the one thing for Keen is that they don't really have a lot to set up with the song, which is a little bit unfortunate. But now Aster go for Gyrocopter. What on earth is that? Gyrocopter's not a hero at the moment, right? Gyrocopter has one of the, I mean, look, I don't want to put too much stock in pub win rates when it comes to overall strength of heroes, but this is not a good look for this hero. Maybe it'll still be okay. I think they're mostly picking it because they wanted to carry with a bunch of magical damage to just kill the Timber over and over in lane. So I think it's going to be like Earth Spirit, Oracle, and Gyrocopter just camping the Timber a whole bunch. And Keen will go for that illusion carry at the end of the day, just a Phantom Lancer for Kama. So not as much of a super hard 4 Protect 1, but still some cute synergies with the Shadow Demon potentially. Certainly a good laner, and actually I guess the other thing is that they needed a carry that could potentially lane against the Batrider. And like Lifestealer was already banned, they banned Slark themselves, so your list of carries with a self-dispel. Yeah, that's the other reason that the Naga gets banned, right? This
10 seconds remaining.
A lot of this whole draft has like revolved around the Batrider, really. Aster picked the Oracle to cover the idea that Keen might take Bat, and then they took Bat themselves, and then we started seeing carries banned from Aster that would work well against the Batrider or be able to lane successfully against him. And in the end, Keen, I don't know if they felt like their hand was forced into picking this Phantom Lancer, but they do take it just to try and have that slightly better matchup in the laning stage. So we'll see how this all goes. Kunkka's pretty good against Gyro. The boat buff's good at keeping everybody alive through that initial burst. Lockdown for this PL is not spectacular, but Aster do have a decent amount of AoE damage, so clearing out the illusion shouldn't be too bad. And again, we'll just have to see how this Timbersaw goes. It does seem like Keen very happy to just keep putting SRF on the Timbersaw over and over. He had some great plays yesterday, some very nice moments, so we'll see how he does here. And I think most of the time when they picked it yesterday, it was also super early. Like they pretty much, if they're picking it in the first phase of the draft. But Aster did beat it yesterday, so we'll have to see how this goes. Oh, and of course we're gonna have a quick pause, as is tradition. Okay, so Shadow Demon is 4. He's starting with boots. I think this is normally their position 5 player, though. So that's a little bit of a change up. He might still be the 5 overall. We'll see. We'll see who's buying all the sentries. That seems to be the main marker these days. So Bawoka with a quick reconnect, and we've got a couple of people who have not bought anything just yet. A little bit of lag, as it seems. I heard some comments about my microphone being a little bit quiet yesterday, guys. I think I may have accidentally just moved too far away from the mic during some of those later games, so I've adjusted the positioning and stuff a little bit. Do let me know if there's any audio issues or anything like that. I will do my best to rectify it. I've had this microphone for a very long time, actually, so wouldn't surprise me if it was time for an upgrade. But again, for those of you just tuning in, this is our last day of coverage for the China minor qualifiers, and the China qualifiers are the last qualifier. So this is going to be our schedule for today. We got Aster versus Keen first, and then the winner is going to be playing up against Newbie for that spot. The teams that don't qualify do still get something. There are some, there's a very small, even a pittance, let's say, of DPC points available for the teams that don't quite make it here, but everyone is definitely eyeing that minor qualifier spot. So, alright. Phantom Lancer, definitely feeling like he's laning up against the Batrider here, though Aster likely going to do their best to make sure that they get the other matchup. So we could see some pretty musical lanes here. I would not be surprised if that ended up being the case. Both teams going to be scouting each other out a little bit. The Earth Spirit being here isn't really that much of a clue, but if they get eyes on the Oracle, they now see the Batrider, so maybe it won't be too much swapping going on. It could also be that XXS just decides to tank out the lane, or we see kind of the usual thing of Batrider maybe trying to cut behind the wave and just dragging creep waves and getting his farm that way. Not as good as maybe it once was, but
this is just
still a viable option. Does look like it might be just the 2-2 bouncy rune split. Not even a whole lot of contest happening, but oh, okay, this is clever. Right, so they intentionally went and they showed XXS at bottom, and he made sure that he knew that the Phantom Lancer had seen him, and now they're swapping it. So SCCC stayed hidden the entire time, and XXS is just going to walk top. Looks like he is going to get scouted by this ward, so Keen might still have the opportunity to swap the lanes around a little bit if they want to, but if they're the first ones to TP, then they're going to lose that edge. So Hey, there you go. Now they see the Batrider. And this is where we're going to have to start having some internal conversations about what the decision is going to be here. What are they doing? Okay, so PL is just backing straight up the lane. Is he going to walk? Okay, they're walking to swap. They're going to leave the supports to soak the experience. So not missing out on too many resources on the map there. And now it'll be up to Aster to decide if they want to chase or if they're happy with the way that things are going. So never mind. I said that these two guys were the 4 and 5. They're getting promotions currently. Ancient Apparition getting gone on a bottom. Fade really heavily tanking the tower. He is going to get that salve cancelled. Nicely done by the Ancient Apparition. That's actually going to get him that kill. Good job realizing what was going on, and that is going to end up being a little bit of a turnaround. So they are now, once they respawn, let's see if will this be the start of the TPs, or are people just going to walk back to lane? So AA does TP bot, so he's kind of locked here. Timbersaw finally arrives. He's got 0 experience so far, which is a little bit troublesome. And a bit of pressure happening on XXS. Shadow Demon going to use that quickly earned level 2 to try and put on some pressure. Mid lane actually going alright for Kunkka so far. Let's see how it continues to go. I mean, there are 4 creeps here waiting for Qian, so I think he will actually be a little bit ahead once that wave dies out. And Aster continuing to go with this this aggro try, but maybe not the matchup that they were hoping for. Though still not not swapping anything around just yet. Shadow Demon just going to disrupt himself, dodge a little bit of damage. He is super stacked up and unfortunately doesn't have a stick just yet. Kama's farming okay. What's happening down here? Boboka just chilling in the tree line. There's Aster trying to pull this creep wave back a little bit. See if they can get an opportunity on SRF. He's still only level 1 currently, and not a whole lot that they can do for each other if one of them gets gone on. So all it's going to take is like a good roll in plus a Fortune's End. And Boboka comes and pokes his nose out. I don't even know if he was looking for the stack there or what, but eats a cold feet. Okay, so we've got a dire obs here, Radiant obs behind the tower, protecting the mid lane. So they really did think that, and they've correctly suspected that the Earthspear's going to be playing around the bottom side of the map. So we saw getting gone on. Timber Chain completely whips from SRF. Oh no! He had some great ones yesterday, but just a little bit off target there, and Fade even going to end up surviving, get salved back up. Yeah, bottom lane going really well for Aster. I guess that's the other thing. Maybe they don't really mind if the Batrider is up against the PL, because it just gives them this opportunity to completely shut down the Timbersaw's game. We have seen SRF make a little bit of a comeback. He does have a straight up Lotus queued up as the first item here. I think yesterday he was mostly going for like a mech first and then maybe a Yule's. Oh, Shadow Demon has a bottle. Interesting. Hopefully get the refill at 5 minutes. Fade grabs himself an invis, but that's been scouted by this observer ward. So Keen should not be caught unawares by that. And we do now actually have Aster swapping the lanes up again. Okay, so they TP. Batrider has already TP'd bottom, so they're kind of stuck here for now. And if Keen wanted to, they could also TP, though that might end up costing them. Might cost them a bounty ring or 2 to teleport at this point. But again, looking like it might just be 2-2. This rotation mid is being completely scouted, but is knowing going to be enough. Roll coming forward does connect. Damage on this Kunkka. They've got the kickback. He's going to go for the TP out up on the high ground. Looks like there isn't quite enough damage. So he will survive. Man, Kunkka is so tanky. Just buy straight up double bracer. Have 1.2k hit points. Good stuff. And I am a bit worried about this Earth Spirit. Again, the hero is not very popular. And I feel like it's not very popular for a good reason. It's just not not really that strong. We'll see what Fade can make happen with it. You know, the same qualms about this gyrocopter. Like, what is this? How is this gyrocopter's game going to go? At least they have the OD. This does really seem like a game where the OD can get a lot of work done. Oh, that's sad. Just wanted that range creep and some free splash damage. What's Ancient Apparition been up to? Has he been stacking this whole time? No, not really. Oh, there's a stack here. What's happening over there? Who's going on who, actually? There's a bunch of stacks on this Oracle. It's way too much damage. He's going to be brought down, but Fade does claim the revenge kill. SRF making his way down onto the low ground. Nicely done with the Quelling Blade and the Timber Chain. That's a little bit more like it. That's what we expect after yesterday. And the Phantom Lancer's just hitting creeps all by himself. So, okay, we have ended up in this kind of situation where XXS is just dragging waves and playing away from the Phantom Lancer. AA is going to come and harass him a little bit. Knows that he needs some backup. So help is arriving in the form of the Kunkka. XXS gets a courier snipe, though. Does get caught by the cold feet, however, so that should probably be the end of him. Disruption into Torrent would be easy enough. Do they even need to? Still chasing after him. But they have the Torrent timing. Yes, they do. And Kunkka will grab that kill. Though that is a 3-man rotate. Oh, what is happening with the mic? Why is it... Am I, like, sitting on something? It's kind of maxing out. Maybe I am a little bit too close. I'm getting like a rep. What is that? It's an interesting day for noises outside my window. Anyway, so it did cost them a 3-man rotation to come and get that kill. So I don't think XXS is too unhappy about that whole situation. PL seems like he's just going for what? He's going to be going for a Yasha first. Definitely a good game to get a relatively early Manta. Don't think he needs to go straight for Diffusal. The Yasha is a better farming item than the Diffusal is anyway, so if you get the Yasha first, then you will get Diffusal plus Manta at a faster timing than if you went the Diffusal first. Unless you get some kills, of course. Roll forward, Fade looking for it, not going to quite grab it. There's a Disruption available for the Shadow Demon, also managing to block that missile, but now there's a call down waiting for him. And it looks like Shadow Demon is about to take a little dirt nap. Fade does not want to take the kill, manages to hand it over to SCCC. And that will be the end of that. So far, very, very slight lead in favor of Keen on the net worth, very, very slight lead in favor of Aster on the experience. Lots of just farming across the map. Gyrocopter going to be going for an early fighting build, just picking up a drum quickly, and Keen not wanting to leave the Kunkka in lane against the OD. It's just the lane that's going to continue to get worse and worse. They want to get a move going and make some use of their ghost ship here. Nice Torrent going to end up landing. Gyrocopter dragged back into it, and SCCC will be brought down by the 4-man gank. Not a whole lot that Fade could really do to save him. So Aster now have a decision to make about whether or not they're going to try and defend this top tower. It does seem like Keen are making a bid for their outpost and don't really have too much of an opportunity to cap the bottom just yet. Fade is going to defend it. Good rotation in. Nobody really helping out this Ancient Apparition. Torrent is going to connect, but the slowdown is there, and OD on the scene, ready to start laying in with the auto attacks, and I think that should be the signal for Keen that they got to get out of here. Aster, dude, still just leave XXS down at the bottom. Yeah, taking some harassment, putting down some harassment. What do we got? Iron Talon. Got an Arcane Ring on OD. That's pretty nice, actually. It's got other neutral items. We have a tree on Kunkka. Broom handle for Phantom Lancer. Very nice. XXS, did he manage to snag that? He did. Manages to bottle up the bounty. Taking some damage, but he will have another bounty waiting for him over on the other side. And SRF dying at top. Just got hit with the hammer, and Cheon sticking around a little bit longer on this top lane to secure himself a kill. Okay, so again, just a... Is that a 2-2 bounty split? I think it was. Actually, who got the one in the top river? XXS, XXS, XXS. So, or is that bottle and activation? I'm losing track. Oh, big rotation mid. They really want this Kunkka. Silence is already there. Kick him under the tower. That boat buff is not going to be nearly enough to save you, my friends. And 4-man rotation easily finds its mark. And this PL is going to have some heavy lifting to do this game with the way that things are going for his team. Like, Timbersaw has no game. Kunkka is just rushing a BKB, so he's not going to scale super hard. You know, if you've seen Kunkka in the past with a Radiant, and he's getting all the AC and BKB and all these other items, or a Halberd, that's really just not going to happen. A Halberd would still be good this game, but I guess he just feels like he absolutely needs the BKB. And then his team doesn't really have an initiator either, other than him. So unfortunately, he also kind of has to cover that role, which I suppose that's what the Shadow Blade is about. We get an X onto Fade. He's pretty tanky, but also decent combo coming through from Keen. Fade, what can he actually do? Going to try for the roll away, but he gets blocked, and down he goes. OD still wants to defend this tower. Is moving into position, but might need a little bit of backup. So you do have the bottom tier 1 tower taken out. OD pokes his head forward. Always has the defensive Astral to help himself out. The boat is coming back off cooldown in a second. XXS doesn't have his BOTs just yet. Kama now rotating his way. He farmed his way all the way up through this jungle, all the way up to top. I think that's the big reason that we see him on the #1 net worth here. He's being pretty efficient with the farming, and he's gone for the max farm build. Going for the Phantom Rush, so not a big surprise to see him on the #1 spot there, but really trying to set themselves up to take a bit more control. And this is a very standard setup. And once the Adder towers start falling, Radiant take over the Dire jungle, Dire take over the Radiant jungle, Ancient Apparition dying in the river. Do you have a ward or something? Looks like he may have just been a little bit out of no man's land. May have gotten spotted by this Observer ward as he was rotating around. Okay, just hoping to clear this wave, but already getting gone on. Great roll through from Fade, locks onto him completely. Kunkka with the Invis Render, they have the detection, Baboka charging forward. But instead they're just going to have to go for the Shadow Demon kill. Instead they bring him down. SRF trying to stand his ground, but that's just giving Chion all these stacks. He's thinking about throwing out the ulti. The boat completely whiffs. Fast Force Staff from the OD is going to get him out of harm's way. And now Aster could probably just go for a little bit more, or just surround this tower. Kama not really ready to fight. Heal without a defusal. Not very scary at all. And that does seem like Aster going to grab this mid-tier 1 tower. Oh man, they just needed to get something with that boat. As soon as that completely whiffed, that was just 100% the end of the fight. I'm just back to farming. Okay, so Gyrocopter is rushing BKB. Pretty early timings for everybody this game, really. SRF still only has Arcane Roots. The Shadow Demon has quite a bit of farm, but we'll see how much he's really going to be able to do with that. And then OD just going for a pretty quick pike here. Oh no, this is Oracle Illusion. Alright, they figured it out. What do they do? They've got another boat. Does seem like this is kind of the Keen Gaming MO. It's just like, Kama, you're gonna go play some late game carry. You just go hit creeps, and then we'll do our best with the other 4 heroes to go and make some opportunities. But it does just feel like Aster kind of outmaneuvering them on the map. Kind of want to leave it on Aster's vision for a little bit. So it feels like they're evading any attempts that Keen are really making. Like, see, now they see the Kunkka top, so they know that, okay, maybe we can make a little bit more of a play at bottom. So SCCC all of a sudden, like, the Kunkka is the most worrisome hero on the map, at least for the moment, for Aster. So if he's over here, then SCCC feels pretty safe to play elsewhere. Got a Ring of Aquila, and I think we had a Grove Bow for the Phantom Lancer picked up. not insanely useful for key in this game, unfortunately. Philosopher's Stone's pretty nice though. You can tell that I'm a support player. Whenever I see the Philosopher's Stone, I'm like, ooh, Philosopher's Stone. So, sign me up. I don't need to auto attack anybody. Okay, so Gyro's grabbing the Aquila, and I guess Aster just gonna go for some kind of a fight as soon as the BKB up is on the Gyrocopter. They don't want to play late game Dota against this Phantom Lancer if they can help it. XXS is actually not too far away from his Blink Dagger either, so could be a good, could be a really good timing coming up as they finish all of these items. What's happening on the Keen side? So Kunkka does have what, pretty much enough for his BKB, but hasn't snagged it just yet. Maybe deciding if he wants to try something else. So go forward, silence. They did manage to cap it, but as they leave the Ancient Apparition to die, as now they chase after the Kunkka. SCCC also arriving. Kunkka gonna try for the TP out. Do they have any interrupts left? They do! The missile just hitting at the last second. Oh no, and Ancient Apparition getting ticked out in the river. Oh lord. And so what, now the outpost is just gonna get immediately recaptured as soon as SCCC has a second. Oh, that hurts so much. I don't even know if does Kunkka have enough time? I think he may have taken a little bit too long. Oh, actually, because there were two of them. Of course, that's enough. But oh, that hurts. Well, at least he bought his BKB before he died, so didn't lose too much gold. But still, that's very painful. So Odie still has to farm the entire BKB. This Ogre Axe is for his Pike, which is on the Courier. Nice roll forward. Fade spotting at the Phantom Lancer. It's a reasonably long silence, but now Fade just getting turned around on. Kama hunting for this kill. Phantom rush forward. SRF. Fade gets slowed down, and yeah, that was not a kill that was going to work out. Chiana's just escaping with his Hurricane Pike.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, so we've got a couple of new items, but no big clash just yet. Somehow with that rotation, Aster have kind of forced everybody on Keen over into the Radiant side of the map where they have quite good vision, though they did not scout this smoke. And they're kind of baiting on this rune. SCCC charging forward really aggressively onto SRF. Is he going to be willing to pop the BKB? The timing is just off from Kunkka. And Aster now going to go hunting for a little bit more. XXS, blink reveal. Not the best way to do it, perhaps. They are going to try and focus on the Oracle first, but Baboka just going to save himself for now. OD looking for the stacks. Resets the fight by going up onto the high ground. SRF somewhat low on mana and looking for his angle back in here as Baboka does die after the False Promise ends. SCCC losing some mana to the PL illusions, but it's still just poking and prodding. They finally found the isolated SRF on the back lines. And he gets chunked down by the Astral. Oh, by the Arcane Orb. Keen is still hanging around here. I guess well, they got boat in 10 seconds. There was an Arcane Rune on this Kunkka, but it's really the time to be taking a fight. Gyro's still got BKB. OD's got his ultimate available. Batrider's got a Blink Lasso, and this is not a good place vision-wise for Keen. They actually see the Kunkka, and they're going to jump on him first. They're looking for the save, but they're just dragging him away from the team. He pops the BKB and will just look to run, but if Aster, if they can kite this out, then that would be fantastic. Good defensive plays. OD going to take a little bit of damage from this Ice Blast, but Kunkka's BKB now wearing out. He needs to be a little bit cautious. Kama does come in from the side. OD drops the hammer, but they've managed to focus him down. The backline just collapsing. As finally SCCC is going to be coming back over with XXS, but it might be a little bit too little too late. Kama's already found himself a double kill, deciding if he wants to stand and fight or perhaps disengage. He turns back over towards Fade. They found the real one. Silence, stun, rooting him up. SCCC turns his attention towards the Phantom Lancer and brings him down. As now Kunkka just quickly snipes a bounty rune and we'll just have to run for it. And both teams did get experience on that 20-minute outpost. Man, overall kind of a weird fight. So, like, they dragged the Kunkka all the way here. And then, because they couldn't kill Kunkka, some of them charged in to kill what, to kill like Shadow Demon, kind of play back here, and then OD and Oracle got isolated. It took a little while for the rest of the team to make their way back, so Keen seemingly knew that there was something happening there. Again, they didn't have amazing vision, but good positioning from the Shadow Demon, just kind of being ready to disrupt once the Kunkka got gone on. Bit unfortunate that they couldn't find more right away, or that they couldn't link back up the rest of the team after they got the kill on the OD. But also, you're just seeing that this Timbersaw is having a miserable game. SRF at least now has his Lotus Orb completed, but this game is really going to become only about the Phantom Lancer for Keen, and he's just going to need a little bit more farm. Nice sounds from Fade. Oh, does still get caught by the Torrent boat, though. Ice Blast is a little bit off the mark, and doesn't seem like Fade's going to have any way out of here. Maybe he can pop Stick and then use the roll to escape over the edge of the map. Just enough, and really badly timed Doppelganger. Fade gets straight through him. Oh no. Oh my god, that Doppelganger timing was...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What was it? Why did he doppel? I guess he was trying to reposition to block it, but didn't expect that Fade was just going to go that way. Alright, Fade survives. There you go. Oh, and Aster just smoking at the same time. They know that the boat's on cooldown. Trying to take full advantage of just this little window that they have as they're setting up down at bottom. And Kunkka's just shown mid. Keen are not in a position to defend as 5. There's multiple TPs on cooldown. XXS looking for the drag back, but nice Lotus Orb. Timbersaw with the reflect, and now XXS trapped by the Cold Feet. Getting completely outplayed there. I guess didn't click on the Timbersaw before making that play. And that is just a straight up feed. Alright, well that's the kind of thing that SRF needs. He got 520 gold for that kill. It was a good idea, but rotation did not work out the way that they were hoping. Phantom Lancer's almost got his Manta. OD needs this BKB. Probably not feeling very happy about the way that the last fight played out. More than likely just telling his team, hey look, can we just wait until I have BKB before we take another fight? I'm not that far away. Just needs the sort of the 1600 for the Mithril Hammer. And still just kind of it's a pretty calculating game. Net worth and experience both moving somewhat towards Aster, but win probability, I think, reflecting that the Phantom Lancer, if he gets big enough this game, really doesn't have very many answers on Aster's side. So, like, if we get to the point where a PL has, like, Abyssal Blade and a Heart and a Butterfly, I don't know what Aster can do. You know, maybe we can start talking about Rapier for the Gyrocopter or something, but I just don't think that they can deal with a 6-slotted PL. So that's why we see super fast BKB and Aster, well, super fast BKBs, and Aster just trying to put the pressure on now as they do wrap around here at bottom. They see the Timbersaw. It's a little bit tankier. Now he's got his Hood of Defiance up. They will get the silence. He pops the Lotus immediately. A couple of ticks coming through. Nice Timber Chain away to the far tree. Gyrocopter forced into popping his BKB perhaps a little bit early as they mow down the 2 supports. Nice roll forward from Faye. That's going to force the BKB out of the Kunkka. And a buyback from the Ancient Apparition as now Aster needs to turn tail and run. As Triple C is the target. That Timber Chain not so great. And Kama doesn't want to fully engage without the backup of his team. Aster will just manage to disengage. They do not get the tower. And it's just the 2 support kills drawing a buyback. Definitely a win, but not as much as they probably would have hoped for from the 10-second BKB charge from SCC. Bat also just going for a BKB here. So at that point, the supports are really gonna... Well, the supports and the Timber and the Kunkka are really gonna do very little. So Kunkka's still kind of working on, like, realizing, oh yeah, Halberd's really, really good here, but does also still kind of want this Shadow Blade. He's picked up the full Sanj. He is very tanky, but again, this is maybe not even a game where being tanky is going to be all that helpful for you against the OD. At least the mischance will be evasion will be useful. Oh, spider legs on both teams, and we have a repair kit on Keen. There you go. That's actually pretty good for them this game, given that the win condition is really just kind of going late. Shadow Demon doesn't really have anything. Working his way towards a Glimmer Cape. AA is going for a Force Staff. Fade actually has a decent amount of gold in this Earth Spirit. He's been clearing out waves. Doesn't even have the rolling boulder damage to clear things a little bit faster, but almost has a BKB. So at that point, he's going to be able to go in really aggressively and just start locking people down with the silence and the non-stop roll spam. So supports Beware on the side of Keen.
Radiant structures are fortified.
What's happening
Dire's
here?
structures are fortified.
Keen kind of rotating towards mid. They've been catching glimpses of the Batrider, but XXS is not going to expose himself to too much danger. Fade comes over here, does spot the Kunkka. Courier also gets taken out. And Keen trying to figure out if they can take some kind of a trade or maybe go and snag an outpost, but they're being very, very tentative about it. Sort of playing around their Phantom Lancer. He does have 3.3k currently and finds himself a Mindbreaker. Pretty nice pickup for him. Unfortunately, they can't really threaten Roche or anything like that. Really just gotta wait until PL gets his next item. And Aster gonna try and make a move. Nice two-man silence, slow AA and the Kunkka. Kunkka doesn't want to pop his BKB just yet. Good BKB TP, but there's some chain stun coming through. Starting to get a little bit dangerous. Defensive disruption from the Shadow Demon. Just gonna set himself up for another stun potentially. So BKB finally comes out. SRF acting like he can man up on the OD, but he cannot do that. You are not big enough, son. And they just chunk him. Absolutely no problem. Okay, well, Aster's sweeping across the map. Keen a little bit asleep at the wheel over at their the former shrine location. Now Aster just heads straight into it. This is actually dying surprisingly quickly. What else is happening? What item is PL going for? He hasn't even decided yet. I don't know if I like Heart here. I think maybe just Abyssal or Scotty. Scotty could be nice, but yeah, I guess Abyssal's just too good, huh? Yeah, picks up the Basher already. Shadow Demon is trying to cut waves with his spider legs. Where's he going? Oh no, is he gonna get scouted? Oh, XXS might run into him. Yeah, he's found him. Spider legs are gonna help a little bit, but Fade's also on the case. Gonna try for the TP out. Don't even need a remnant for that one, and it's gonna be an easy pickoff. Okay, so Kunkka has his halberd. Now he's going for a blink dagger. Everything is in service of this PL timing, which will, well, we have to see if it's actually going to be enough. There's also a world in which PL gets his Abyssal Blade, they engage a fight, but maybe they don't have good vision, and PL just gets like silenced and stunned, or he gets lassoed, and that's just the end of him. Oh, Kunkka, these EKB charges have done so little for him as he gets picked off. Vision game for Keen is really, really struggling. Like they need this outpost and they need to have a ward in here somewhere, but unfortunately just haven't been able to do that. It's not that Aster have a ton of wards, but the wards that they do have been kind of giving them kills fairly consistently. It's also that I think Keen are just feeling as if they can't fight currently. Oh, roll from Fade. This man going for the solo kills. SRF walking over as if he can help, but... And this does send a bit of a message as well. I mean, they beat his Timber yesterday, but... Oh, actually, no, they lost to the Timber, right? That was the second game. Did they also pick it in the third? Oh, they did. Yeah, they picked it in the third, and Aster beat it as well. So it does really seem like Aster are not overly worried about this Timber to the point that they would be willing to give it a first phase ban. This game just further reinforces that. They've got 3 of their cores in the top 4. Gyrocopter just getting bigger and bigger. Now has a full Mjolnir. When you're in this kind of a game and there aren't any other threatening cores, this is what happens. You start to see everybody just itemizing against one hero. Fade is getting bashed up a little bit here. Pops the BKB, trying to escape, getting bashed up. Does pop the Magnetize. They're going to try and clear out these illusions. Gion also taking some damage. Kama making it work. There's the bash. Actually slays the OD as well. Phantom Lancer is making it happen. BKB also popped from the Batrider. Can he find the real one? He does have the lasso if he can just find a little bit of space. SCCC coming through with the flat cannon. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana. SRF kind of revealing the real PL, but there's a Glimmer Cape as well. Shadow Demon waiting in the trees, almost able to keep him alive, but Baboka finishes him off. Disruption onto the Gyrocopter. He does still have the Aegis, but SCCC's done with this fight, or is he? Keen Gaming gonna keep him here. They pop the Aegis. Baboka doesn't really have anything to help, and so SCCC just gonna have to fight this one out. It's not gonna be enough though, and the tip from beyond the grave as Kama putting the flame on Fade. Just gets brought down, drags his team into what turned out to be a pretty awful fight. And Keen Gaming absolutely cleaning up. What was that? A 1 for 5, 1 for 6 with the Aegis? Just so much damage done by this Phantom Lancer. That is actually super scary. Biggest problem, of course, OD dies without casting any spells or doing anything at all. Couldn't imprison himself, doesn't have a blink to get away. That was just the end of him. Fade's coming in, alright. They want this SRF kill. A little bit of lockdown, good defensive disruption, kind of stacking it with the Glimmer Cape. XXS now coming in, we'll be looking for a little bit more. Perhaps overeager to stick around with their Phantom Lancer dead. Hunka gonna try for the TP out, but there is a lasso waiting for him. And, well, Keen getting a little bit too big for their britches after winning that fight. Just wanted to take out the tier 1 tower. It's not going to happen, and Aster do get some pretty big swing back kills. Oh, Keen. You'd just given yourself such a big boost in the right direction, and just as quickly, Aster bringing it back. That is going to be the Abyssal Blade for the Phantom Lancer, though. This is scary. He's getting very big. Illusion. And OD, you can see after that last fight, swapped from aiming for a Hex, and now he's just going for a Shiva. So this is the game now. Everybody is furiously itemizing against the Phantom Lancer, and they have to kill the Phantom Lancer to win the fight. And Keen just got to do their best to protect him, keep him alive with the Glimmer, throw out the disruption, and hope that the PL has enough damage to 1v5. And, you know, maybe the Timbersaw and the Kunkka become a little bit more relevant as things go on. But, you know, right now, neither one of them has the most impressive inventory. Okay, so they've got their Shivas in a second. Any other items coming up soon? Not really. Roshan dead for at least another 2 minutes, and Keen on the warpath, smoked up. What do they see? They've got great vision for this fight, actually. There's a ward on this hill that they haven't dealt with on the side of Aster. They seem to suspect what's going on. Ice Blast comes through, but they jump the OD first. Can they keep him alive? BKB, and now they save with the Oracle as well. Immediately turning it around, Phantom Lancer gets grabbed, and he is down. Great plays from XXS. Finds the real PL instantly. Not enough illusions, not enough distractions. And with that, the Timbersaw also falling. Shadow Demon caught out inside of the trees. This time around, Baboka was there ready with the save. And that is exactly what Aster needed to make their way up onto this high ground. Start looking towards this tier 3. No buyback on the PL. This could very well just be 2 full lanes of racks here. AA is going to do his best with the Ice Blast to clear things out, but this is falling quickly.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
What can they even do? Hunka's just hanging back, knows that he really needs to play this safe. Backdoor protection kicks in for a little bit. Alright, that's pretty nice. Buys them a few more seconds, but first lane of racks down and still 30 seconds to go on this Phantom Lancer. At least OD ulti is on cooldown. They will probably have to back off after taking this. Maybe after taking this tier 3, though they will know for sure that there's no buyback available. But alright, they back up. There's bounty runes to go and be claimed. And do they have any wards to lock down the map a little bit more? Baboka does have one obs, but if they don't have any more beyond that, he probably wants to save it for somewhere over near the Roshan pit, because that's going to be the next big objective. Keen need to take or at least stop the Roshan to extend this game a little bit and get another item on their Phantom Lancer. And Aster, if they get the Aegis, they'll probably be able to close this one out. So that's the next big battle. Though he did actually, okay, so he wards over here. That's a bit weird to me. I don't think this ward is going to see anything for the next little bit, but we'll see. Maybe he hasn't. Okay, he's got one more. So there you go. Can afford to use something here and still have some vision for the ward battle that's going to start emerging over at the pit relatively soon. Still 30 seconds to go until the respawn. And Aster, quick smoke up. What do they see? They actually spot heroes on this ward heading over into their jungle. So they can make a little bit of a beeline. Still 13 seconds to go on the Roshan. SRF also spotted. Now they see the Kunkka at mid. They know that they're split up, so they can force this fight easily. They spot SRF first. Lotus is going to help him a little bit, but it was perhaps a bit preemptive, as now he's just being silenced, and SCCC chases him down. On the other side, they find the Shadow Demon. Spider Legs are going to get him out of there, but that's not the target that they're looking for. It's actually the Phantom Lancer, and they get him with the lasso. They get him with the stun. Blink-in disruption from the Shadow Demon, trying to keep him alive, but I think that's just going to be his life lost as well. Can't even bring down Baboka. And this OD doing so much work. Okay, I was like, oh, that's not OD. Fade also has Ashivas. Okay. So there you go. Everybody is super itemizing against PL. Maybe Earthspear could have gone for Radiance or something, or Crimson Guard. You know, I guess this is also fine.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
And SCCC is just in here hitting their base without a care. There's only 2 heroes alive. This might just be game at this point. 23k lead, 30k experience, win probability 98%. Dota Plus definitely favoring Aster at this point, and I guess the Gyrocopter and the Earth Spirit worked out. I think Fade actually played a really good game here. A few nice moments from Keen, but the Kunkka pick, like as soon as the OD pick came out, their draft just became so difficult to play, because their 4 heroes that they had already picked just did not have tools to deal with this OD. It looked okay in a couple of fights because they did manage to just instantly kill the OD first, but I think if Aster had been a little bit more careful with their positioning and stuff like that, it should have been a much more straightforward game. Okay, so Keen they gotta do this. This is it. Like I said, have to stop the Roche if they can. Big wraparound line being drawn by Kama, though. He wants to try and assault the backlines first, maybe find Baboka. Realizing that they have to kill the Oracle first if they want to take out the OD, but XXS, I think, suspects what's going on here. He's got a haste in the BKB to potentially escape, but now the Aegis and Cheese already claimed. Timbersaw goes in, but immediately gets silenced. That Lotus is not going to save him. At least presses his pipe to the team before he goes down. SCCC finds the AA. Cheon getting saved. Kama is just looking at Baboka. XXS will not be able to get the lasso onto him just yet, but they clear through the illusions, no problem. Disruption from the high ground. Shadow Demon trying to save a life. They will bring down the Gyrocopter the first time, but that costs PL his life, and Kunkka's coming back out of the imprisonment, straight to his death, and that is going to be the GG called. Aster seemingly have Keen's number. I don't know what Keen needs to do, if they need to put something different together, maybe go away from the Timbersaw, but whatever it is, they got to come up with those solutions fast, because they are now on the precipice, on the brink of being knocked out of the minor qualifier here. 1 game to go. Just, yeah, they had the one swing when PL just bashed OD into oblivion, and then beyond that, everything was sort of trending toward... you know, it was close for a little while. All they needed was some slightly better fights out of PL, and I guess for the game to last a little bit longer, but it does kind of look like Aster are the better team. Or at least I think they had the better draft. Next game, I don't think Batrider's making it through. I think this XXS Batrider was just too annoying. And Aster was so willing to like completely draft around it with the Oracle to block it from Keen, and then like Keen trying to come up with a solution to the Batrider, bring out the Shadow Demon, and he farmed pretty well, but just didn't really feel his impact during the game, even with all that net worth. And then their support duo just couldn't really gank a whole lot. Even when they could gank, it kind of took all three of their the Kunkka and the AA and the Shadow Demon, and then Timbersaw was just kind of present this game. There really wasn't a whole lot that that poor old SRF could do. He even got out damaged by his AA, which is not a good look. It doesn't matter so much if you're playing an offlaner that has lockdown, but Timbersaw only does damage. He has 4 spells that just pretty much do damage. Well, 3 spells that do damage and 1 survivability spell. So that does not bode well. So probably some changes coming. We're going to head to a break, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you back here for game number 2 in just a couple of minutes.